Hello all. In this session, I'm going to make you actually understand the complete dashboard. How do you create it for the Superstore? Okay, so this is actually going to be a very interesting session just because of the reason that we are going to put in all of the things that we have learned so far with respect to Tableau into this. We will apply everything and then we will create multiple sheets. And we can also get an idea about generally when you have a sales kind of data, and with that sales kind of data, if you work as a manager, what kind of visualization that you wanted to create it and show it to your store owners. So you will get the overall idea of all of these things. This is completely the things that we are going to do it in Tableau. It's a complete demo which we will do it, and you will get an idea about the different types of charts that we have seen so far, and when to use what type of chart, and also some kind of concepts that we have decided in this, discussed in this Tableau session so far. You'll get an idea of everything together in this session. So maybe this session would be slightly longer. Never mind, you're going to get a lot of information out of this. So how do I want to start this discussion is that the overall idea is, if you're a owner and if you are running a store, you will be concentrating on different things. Of course, the overall objective of you might be, you just wanted to improve the sales and the profit of your superstore. So how do I improve my sales and the profit of my superstore means, I will look into the data that I have it, and I will try to find out how different regions are performing, which region is more profitable and which region is not profitable, why a particular region is not profitable, and if in case if the region is not profitable, can I go ahead and remove the investment that I have been done in this particular region. So there are a lot of questions. There are definitely lot of questions would be running in your mind, and you wanted to find an answer to all the questions that you have it in your mind. So when you wanted to find an answer to all of these questions in your mind, as a owner, you will have multiple things to do it. So you will ask your managers, regional managers, or your managers. You will be asking and about an answer for all of these questions. When you wanted an answer, so most of the managers would try to give an answer to you in the form of either a dashboard or in the form of some sort of visualization they would try to present to you. So now what we will do is that this is the idea, this is the concept. For this, we wanted to create a dashboard. So assuming that I am the manager, I am going to present some kind of dashboard to the series of questions that my owner was asking to me. Okay, so let us try to find out an answer for all of these questions with what we can do with the visualization which we have seen so far. Okay, so let's get inside our Tableau environment. Okay, so let us get inside our Tableau environment. As you know, I'm using Tableau Online. So we are in our Tableau Online environment. All right. So now we will connect to our data source. Okay. So we have this one, you close it, and then we will create the workbook. Okay. So workbook, then we will try to connect our data source. I'm doing it from the beginning just because of the reason, just you will get a complete flow of what exactly we are trying to do with Tableau. So we have connected our superstore. It's done. Okay. Now what we wanted was that we wanted to work with how the different regions are performing, right? So that's what I wanted to find out. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to find out the performance of different regions. And also I just wanted to find out which region is more profitable and which region is not profitable. So this is the idea I have it, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my sheet as performance, and the name of the sheet is basically performance, just because I'm going to identify the overall trends of the sales and the profit of the superstore. Now what I wanted is, I just wanted to find out the profit as well as the sales, right? So let me just put in my column as per the order date. Okay, what I'm going to get is, I'm just going to get my profit as well as my sales. Okay, so now what you're seeing here is the some kind of line which you're seeing it. So if you wanted to, see it month wise, you can actually change it to month, or probably a quarter would be better. So let us change it to quarter. Okay, so this is the way you can actually understand that this is a simplest visualization that we have done, and we are able to see the trend line. Okay, let me just keep it as year itself, because let me just keep it as year itself, because that will be easy for me to show the trend, right? So from 2017 to 2070, how the trend has happened, whether how the profit has been done, how the sales has been done, we are able to identify that. So whenever we wanted to identify a trend, that one type of chart which will really help us to do a trend analysis is definitely your line chart. Okay, then we can also apply some filters over it, because what I wanted to find out was that how different regions are performing. So in that process, basically I will take my location, and then I'll place my region also in the filter. Okay, and once I kept my region in the filter, I'm going to select all, and then I'm going to apply a OK. Okay, click on OK. So now we have got a region wise filtering is being done. We can do that. And also if I wanted to have a category also in my filter, so let me just put my category and the subcategory also in my filter. So I'm just going to keep all the things for the subcategory category as well. So the one more filter has been created. Now I'm going to just keep my subcategory also. Just this also I'm clicking on all. Okay. So what we have got here is that we have just got different types of filters. Okay. So now if let me just show all the filters, it is let me just right click, and then I'll just show filters. You can see all the filters. Suppose for suppose for if I have selected central, how it is behaving. So filters are working. So let me just show all the filters here. So I have a category filter, and also I have a subcategory filter. Okay, now what is the question? I just wanted to find out how a region is performing, right? How a particular region is performing. Suppose for example, I am unchecking everything, and then I'm just going to select a central region. Okay, so I have just selected a central region. You can identify that the trend of this particular central region is from 2017 to 2020. There is a kind of a lot of profit which has made by this central region in terms of all the categories as well as in the terms of subcategories. I have selected everything. Okay, if you want to choose a particular category, you can also go ahead and choose a particular category like a furniture, and for the furniture, how the profit has happened for your central region, you can also see that. Okay, and if you want to check as a subcategory wise, that also could be done. Okay, so instead of a central, in fact speaking, I'll keep all the category as all category. So let us talk in this sense. So you can identify that the central has really done very well in 2019 to 2020, because it has made a heavy kind of profit here. And also in the terms of sales also, central is doing really well. Suppose if I will select my east region, how is my east region is doing in terms of sales? Earlier profit, earlier in terms of profit it was very low, but again in 2020 and 2019 you can see that the sales has dramatically been increased. So similarly, if I'll keep it for south, you can understand how the south region is performing. Okay, so how the south region is performing. So this is the way you can actually, in fact, speaking for in this visualization, the performance of the south is really, really bad. Okay, so we can identify that. So in case if you will present this particular sheet to your head, okay, so assuming that you are the manager who have worked on this particular question, the question is how every region is going to perform in terms of sales as well as in terms of profit. He wanted to know it. So you will present this kind of a chart to him, so he can very well, very easily he can check on which region, how much profit it is making, how much sales it is making, and also he can observe the trend very clearly. Okay, so this is the way you can actually make use of it when you're working with sales data. And then you wanted to, if your question is something like, you want to find out which is most profitable and where should I go and do some kind of investments, if I have to answer to all of these questions, this particular visualization would be really, really easy for me. Okay, so let me just show you one more visualization. I'm adding a new sheet over here. So here, what is the question I have is that here in our performance, what we have seen is that, how region wise, how the sales and the profit is there. Now let us drill down still more inside, and then let us try to identify how different states are performing, because we got to know that central has given us a maximum profit and a maximum sales. Once I have identified that central is performing really well in terms of profit and sales, in central, which particular state is having a good performance? So you can identify that, and you can specifically choose that corresponding state for investment. So if I have to find out how the different states are performing, okay, so we can have this sort of visualization that I'm going to show you. Okay, so let me just rename this also as, like, I'm going to use a scatter plot for this, because you're going to learn a lot of things with this scatter plot. So I'm basically making use of a scatter plot to explain you how the different states are performing. To know how different states are performing, I'm just going to use a scatter plot for this. So just click on OK, and now our sheet is ready. Okay, so generally we will make use of scatter plot just because of the reason, like, you wanted to show how one variable is going to affect another variable. Always a kind of relationship between a sales and a profit, you wanted to show it. Okay, just because how the state is performing in terms of sales as well as in terms of profit, how that particular state is performing, you want to know it, right? So how do I present it? Means obviously I need to show the relationship between my sales and profit. So in that context, what I'm going to use is, I'm going to use a scatter plot. Now what is the column that I have to concentrate on is, it's of course a relationship between your sales and your profit. So I'm just going to keep in my column a sales, and then I'm going to keep my profit in my rows. Okay, and then yeah, it is showing me a scatter actually. So there is a scatter now. All right, now what I need to do is that I need to show this scatter state wise, right? State wise. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to get the state basically, which is in the location, and that state I'm going to get inside my marks card. Okay, so I have put the marks in my I have put my state in my marks. Let me just put it. Okay, so as soon as I have put this, you can see that some kind of scatter is happening, and actually what it is doing is that it can actually it is actually creating a quadrant basically here. And but what is not clear for me is that this data is not at all clear for me to answer to a question which state is performing well. Okay, in terms of sales and profit, which state is performing well? Of course you can identify that there are outliers, like these New York and California is really performing well in terms of sales and profit, and also Texas is the one which is not performing so well in terms of the uh, sales and profit. We can identify that, but this thing isn't clear, the visualization isn't clear. So in order to make this data to be very clear, I'm going to make use of different concepts that we have learned as a part of, the overall. We have learned about a calculated field, we have learned about a parameter, so many things we have learned. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to make use of all of these concepts over here to get you an idea how you can actually make a better visualization for this. All right. So now there is a scatter here, and you can even do a filtering for the state actually. Yeah, so we can just give an all for that, and click on OK. So there is a filter as well. Now what I'm going to do is that the data isn't uniform, so I just want it is very asymmetric in data. The skewness is not proper. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep a reference line. Okay, so that my data is going to be splitted into quadrants. Okay, and when I'm making a reference line, what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to keep my reference line in terms of median, so that my reference line is going to come in the middle. Okay, so I'll just click on this sales. Okay, and then you can just click on here. Okay, 1 second. Okay. Okay, so what we can see is that, okay, maybe I'll just go to my reference line, and then I'm just going to get my reference line. Okay, so for this sum of the sales, I'm just going to get the reference line. Okay, so what I'm going to use is I'm going to use a median is what I'm going to use it. And here I don't want any kind of computation. And yeah, so that's what I wanted to do it. And just I want to show the line only. And yeah, I can just click on. Okay. Okay. So yeah, already you can see that there is a reference line which has been created for my sales. Okay. So similarly, I'll keep a reference line for my profit as well. So yeah, I can just put for my sum of profit. And then here also I'm going to use a median. And I do not want any kind of computation or labeling, nothing I require. So just I have kept the reference line. Now you can see that the reference line is here. Okay, now your data is getting splitted into 4 quadrants basically. Okay, so the median is here, the median value is here, and then the median value is here. Okay, fine. Now we have kept the reference line just to show this 4 quadrants. Okay, now I just wanted to, quadrant is visible and clear. I can see that this kind of data is lying. It is having a negative value for the sales, as well as it is not making any profit. And here, if you see, almost all of these regions, I mean, all of these states is not making any kind of profit. And also, like, sales is very low here. You can see that it's doing some sales here, but also the profit is very less. You can identify that very clearly now. Okay, now what I wanted to do is that I just wanted to change the colors for your profit as well as the sales. Okay, so for which what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a parameter. Okay, so just click on it, and then you can just create a parameter. Okay, so what is the parameter that I'm going to use is the profit parameter is what which I'm creating it. And then I'm just going to keep my data type as float. Okay, and yeah, this is going to be current value is going to be this one. And let me just keep the current value as the median of my profit. Okay, so let me just see what is the median of my profit. Yeah, it was actually 2196, right? So let me just keep it as 2196. Okay, and then click on OK. Okay, so there is a parameter called as a profit parameter is created. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one more parameter, which is my sales parameter. Okay, So again, here, what is the value I'm going to do is that it is 22, I mean, it was 22.205, right? So that was it. So I'm just keeping the current value like that. And then I have created one more parameter, which is my sales parameter. Okay, now the, uh, uh, you know, the field is there, like, the sales parameter and the profit parameter is created now. Now what we wanted is that using these parameters, I just wanted to split the quadrants so that I can color it accordingly. Okay, so that's what I wanted to do it. Now what I can do is that any parameter will get, uh, I mean, it is going to work only with your calculated field. You know that very well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a calculated field, which is for identifying the quadrants. Okay, so this is for identifying the quadrants. And then I'm going to basically write some set of series of conditions. I'm going to write it. Okay, so let me just write. You can understand as I write. I'm just writing a if condition for what means for the sum of sales. Okay, and if it is greater than or equal to the sales parameter, yeah, this is the sales parameter. And so just close this, and then it is going to be a sum of profit. Yeah, sum of profit. Okay, and that also should be greater than or equal to the profit parameter that I have created, right? So that is going to be a profit parameter. If it is so, then I will just put it as Q2. Okay, so this is the way you're writing your expression. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy the same thing. I'm going to paste it over here and change the quadrants, and all this will come as a else if condition. So else if condition, and here what is the things that I need to change is it is again greater than or equal to, and the sum of the profit is, this one is going to be less than. Then if it is less than a profit parameter, then the quadrant will be different. So the quadrant is going to be Q3. Okay, done. So now let us copy the same thing again, and then I'm going to put it for the next statement, and the quadrant that I'm going to write is Q1 is the quadrant, and for the Q1 quadrant, this is going to be greater than or equal to, and this one is going to be my less than, if the sum of the sales is less than the sales parameter. And yeah, so Q1 is there. Okay, so now one more condition I have to put. I just copied that. My quadrant is going to be Q4, and then the condition here is less than, and here also the condition is going to be less than. Okay, so yeah, so this is greater than or equal to, and this is less than is the conditions, and this is greater than or equal to, less than, and yeah, so these are the conditions. So let me just end this. Okay, so ended this. Okay, still it is showing some kind of error here. And yeah, if sum of sales is greater than, what is the error? Expected closing parenthesis or comma while passing the arguments for the list. Okay, so there is yeah, so let me just correct the error. Okay, so that's done. Still it is showing yeah, okay, let me just show sum of sales. Okay, okay, yeah, sales. Here as well we will change it as sales. Okay, Okay, so R while okay, so yeah, so here there is a parenthesis which is missing. Yeah, now the calculation is valid. So we have corrected all the errors and then we have written our calculated field. Click on OK. And now what you're going to do is we are going to give the color based on the uh, measure that we have created. That is the calculated field that we have created. So what you're going to do is you're just going to drag this identify quadrants to your marks and then you're going to give the colors for it. Okay. So let me just keep it here and then I'm just going to give the color for it. Okay. So now you can see that there are two different colors which are being shown. That is only for the Q2 and the Q3, it is showing the color. So which means that in one parameter, something is going wrong. So let us check that parameter as well. So if you would see the profit parameter, it is kept as 2.196. Okay. And for the sales parameter, let me just edit it. Yeah, it is 22.205. Okay, it's fine. Okay. Okay. So we can see that it has actually kept the colors also for us. Now you can easily identify that New York as well as the California is doing extremely very well because their sales as well as the profit is very, very nice. Similarly, if you take your Texas, actually, Texas is doing well with sales, but in terms of the um, say profit, it is not really doing well. So you can understand this kind of plot when you do it. This is actually giving a lot of information to your manager, like, you know, he wanted to see region wise who is performing well, right? Which state has performed well, and he wanted to decide for which state he wanted to do an investment and for which state he shouldn't be going for an investment. That's the idea he has it. So this kind of visualization giving a very clear indication that Texas is not doing so well in terms of profit even though there is sales. So you need to rethink about investing in the Texas. So this kind of information will be really useful to the managers, like, you know, to identify how they have to take a strategic decisions. So here there is a lot of learning because we almost we made use of lot whatever concepts that we have learned so far, we have made use of everything in this visualization. Okay, so now another part that you could actually explore is let me just use a new worksheet. Here I just wanted to find out how different segments of this store is behaving in different states and different regions, okay, in terms of profit and then in terms of sales. So let us just keep it as segment at profit. Okay, and so this is the sheet which I'm creating, and this is going to be different segments, right? So what I'm going to do is that in my row, I'm just going to keep my region. Okay, so I'll just keep my region in my row. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to put my segment in my marks. And then I'm just going to take the color. Okay, so here what chart that I wanted was that, okay, so yeah, so let me just put some more thing also. So let me just put in marks the profit size as well. Okay, so let me just put the profit here. Okay, so let me just put the profit in terms of size. I will put the profit. So size is here. So now you can identify that there are different types of charts, but the chart that we will be making use of is the pie chart. Okay, so now you can identify that as per the region, how each of the segment is working. Okay, So for the central region, corporate segment is making this much profit. And for the central region, home office is making this much profit. So segment wise, you can understand for every region, segment wise, what is the profit it is making. If you want to understand, you can do that. To make this more interactive, actually you can make put the filters also over here. Suppose, for example, you have a region filter. So you can just put the region filter, and it's of course all, and then click on apply and okay. And also we can put our state also in our filter. If you want to filter it in terms of state, that also could be done. Click on apply and then click on okay. Okay, fine. So now we have our filters. Okay, so let us show the filter. Okay, let me just select as per the central. If I wanted to show it, I can do that. Okay, and I'm just dropping my filters. Okay, all right. So you can actually edit from here as well. So this is some sort of visualization that you can give it in case if you wanted to do segment wise some analysis. If you want to do, then you can do that. Okay, so same thing could be done for your sales as well. And also the finally last one, we will talk about little bit on revenue. Okay, so how much revenue each region is going to make, right? So let me just put in my column the sales. Okay, I'll just put in my column sales, and in the row I'm just going to put the category and the subcategory. Okay, I've just put the row in category and subcategory I have put, and then I am just going to put my profit in my marks. Okay, so let me just color code it. Okay, so this sort of visualization will help you to understand, like which particular subcategory is not at all making any profit. Okay, so you can understand this very clearly. And also you can make use of filters here, like in terms of region wise. If you wanted to do a filter, you can just add a region wise filter and then click on apply. Okay, okay, now let me show the filter. Okay, so you can have you just wanted to select a central, and then you can understand here. Okay, so it is just showing the central values over here. Okay, so this is these are the different types of visualization which you can work on to get you an idea about what sort of questions, like different sort of questions might be coming from the managers and from the owners. For any sort of questions to answer, you can actually make use of these type of visualizations. This would have given you an idea about what to do if you have got a data store with you. Okay, so in terms of sales, these are the common type of questions that you might be encountering, and to answer to these common type of questions, the kind of visualization that I have done will help you to understand the things better in Tableau. Finally, let me just show you one more thing also, which is your forecast. See, right now you have some data, right? Maybe from 2004 till 2014 you have some data like that. Suppose if you wanted to do a forecast for the sales, how do you do it? Now in my row, what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to put my sales here in my row, and then in my column I'm just going to keep my order date in my columns. Okay, and then I will keep month wise order date. Okay, that's better for me. Okay, or let me just keep two things here. Okay, so I'll just keep an let me just drop this. I just wanted to keep two things. One is I just wanted to have a year wise order date. Okay, I'll just keep an year wise order date, as well as I just wanted to keep one more, which is my monthly order date. Okay, which is my monthly order date. So I can understand how this sales has happening from 2017, 2018, 2019. And also I just wanted to choose an area chart for showing this. So this will become very, very clear, like, how this trend is happening with each year, with each month. Now what I wanted to do was that I just wanted to, I just wanted to do a forecast. So if you go to your analytics, okay, so you will find an option like your forecast. There will be an option called as a forecast. Okay, so you can just, if you will just double click on it, then what happens is that it will show one more option here for me. Okay, so that will show me the forecast. Okay, so this is also, you can do it so that it will show the trend line like this for the next year. 2021, it is going to show the trend line for the next year. So you can do the forecast also. All right. So now that we have created multiple visualizations for many of the questions that we had in our mind, now you wanted to present this to your manager. So how do you present it? Of course, you will present it in the form of a dashboard, right? So you know very well how you can do with a dashboard, right? So as you have clicked on it, you can actually, I'm just keeping it as floating so that I can do a minimizing of this. Okay, so I just wanted to minimize this, or I'll just keep my scatter plot also here. Okay, and it is showing me the quadrants as well. So all of these things, if you keep it properly, like, the alignment part, everything is done. You just keep your region. If you right click it, yeah, here you should right click it. So here you can, if you right click, it will be like converted to floating. Then you can just move on to make your visualization better. Okay, so this is the way you can work with your interactive sales dashboard. Okay, I just hope that I have given you enough information about what you can do with a dashboard. If you have your sales kind of data with you, what are the different type of questions that you can encounter with all these questions, what you can do with all of these questions. So that information would have helped you to work further with your Tableau. And that's all I have for this session. Thank you.